Davenport,
Here.
Ms. Zuckerman. Here. Mr. Fama, Mr. Grau.
Here. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sunshine law, please.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provision of the Act, the Montville Township Board of Education provided a public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location that was posted at the Montville Township Municipal Building, all Montville Public Schools, the Montville Public Library, the Montville Township Board of Education Administrative Office Building, the district website, and advertised in the Daily Record, the board's official newspaper, on June 23rd, 2020.
Thank you. Any members of the public want to speak on the agenda items? Seeing none, I'd entertain a resolution for the consent resolution, the consent agenda, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we can jump right to personnel. We have a couple of contracts and salaries to be approved. L1 is the ratification of the MTA contract for the 3-year period starting in July 1st of 2021 through June 30th, 24. Karen has chaired that committee. Would you like to take it?
Yes, thank you, Charlie. I have a statement to make about it. So as Mr. Brown mentioned on tonight's agenda is a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement between the board and the Montville Township Education Association, the collective bargaining unit representing our teachers, secretaries, paraprofessionals, and custodial and maintenance staff. Our last 3-year agreement expired on June 30th of this year. This agreement begins on July 1st, 2021, and expires on June 30th, 2024. Although a mediator's assistance was required to reach agreement, we are pleased that the process was consistently respectful, professional, and friendly. This agreement addresses the needs of the district and our staff in a fiscally sound manner and without the loss of our ability to meet the needs of our students. The significant changes are the agreement will provide for increases of 3.15% on average for all employees in each of the 3 years. Due to the way salaries are distributed, some staff members will receive more, some less. These increases are consistent with increases negotiated throughout Morris County and the state and within our ability to fund them. Changes in the law regarding health benefits required us to make some adjustments to the way our paraprofessionals are provided insurance. They will continue to be eligible only for single coverage, but they will now enjoy the benefits of a waiver option enjoyed by all other unit employees. To ensure our paraprofessionals are being provided the necessary in-service training, their work year has been extended by 1 full day. The work year for newly hired teachers was also increased by 1 day, now providing for 3 additional in-service days for orientation. Newly hired teachers will also be required to attend an additional 7 after-school meetings annually. This was important to the administration, enabling them to better train staff in district procedures and hopefully easing the transition of new teachers to teaching and the district. I would like to sincerely thank the board's negotiating committee, Charlie Grau, Mike Palma, and David Modrak for the time and effort they put into this process, and Drs. Rotar and Shorter and Ms. Slunt for providing us with the information, guidance, and wisdom necessary to reach this agreement. A big thank you to the NTEA Negotiating Committee, in particular to Scott Riotto, who's here tonight, and to Laura for their professionalism and willingness to compromise in reaching this settlement. Finally, I, on behalf of the whole board, want to thank all of the MTA members for the work they do on behalf of Montville Township students all year long.
Thank you, Karen. Any other members of the committee like to speak? No? Okay. Item L2, ratification of the supervisor's contract. I would also like to thank the members of the board's negotiating committee. While I chaired it, we had able assistance from Mike O'Brien, Michelle Zuckerman, and Joe Daughtry. The number of changes that occurred, the salary settlement for the three groups is 3.1% per year. There were some minor language changes. Remember, this is a group of about 8 or 10 people, nothing in size of the MTEA. I also would like to thank Dr. Rotar and Mrs. Slun for their work on the development of the guide, especially the superintendent and anybody else that was involved with it. L3, approval of the salaries for unaffiliated staff. The salaries for those people that are not part of the MTEA or the supervisors or the administrators. That would be the central office staff, some supervisors. I guess that would be it, central office staff and some supervisors and those who are not. And technology department, right? And that would be the members for L3. L4 is the salary adjustments, which lists the salary adjustments. I'm sure that we'll be getting another list eventually once the contract is, once the salaries can be implemented, and that'll probably be done in either the 14th or the 28th meeting. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Before I ask for a roll call vote, anybody else? Any comments? Okay, thank you. Christine?
Dr. Cordolino?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtry?
Yes.
Mrs. Spano?
Yes.
Dr. Modrak?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Aye.
Mr. Rappaport?
Yes.
Ms. Zuckerman?
Yes.
Mr. Grau?
Yes. We do have some other salary adjustments that we're being asked to vote on tonight for people who work additional summer hours, things of that nature. We also have some appointments, recess aides, maintenance, and some training level changes. L6, which is on page 8, are those people that will be moving because they have achieved the next column for education. Like someone's at MA, they can now go to the MA 30, and these adjustments here would be, I think there's 16 of them. They would be implemented as a result of the transcripts being evaluated and any professional backup that's needed. L7, we have some extended school year salary adjustments for the same reason. And L8 is the contracts for the 3 central office administrators, not counting Dr. Rotar, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Shorter, Assistant Superintendent Andrew Whitman, and School Business Administrator Katine Slun. Any questions on any of those items under L? Okay. Curriculum, we have no other items to act on. Would you take a roll call, Mrs. Slun, please, for those other ones?
Dr. Cordolino?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtry?
Yes.
Mrs. Spano?
Yes.
Dr. Modrak?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Aye.
Mr. Rappaport?
Yes.
Ms. Zuckerman?
Yes.
Mr. Grau?
Yes. We will be going into closed work session at this point. I guess there's no old business because we'll be meeting shortly on that. Public participation, I see 2 members of the public, if you would just like to make a comment. Thank you, Scott.
Good evening. Scott Briato, Roxbury resident, MTHS history teacher, MTA president. I want to thank Dr. Ferlino for her sentiments, so articulately expressed, characteristically. I echo those sentiments. I like to thank the board's negotiating committee and the entire board for their vote in the affirmative. The association voted also in the affirmative just a couple of hours ago. I wanted you to know this, and hear this from me personally. You were going to be here in person, and I sure wanted to be here in person to thank you and to show my gratitude. I'm personally looking forward, as I know the entire association is looking forward to sort of an energetic comeback year. So thank you, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you,
for your
Scott.
words. Since there's no other public questions or participations, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please, but before I do that, I'd like to remind everybody that September 27th, which we'll be meeting with the consultant for the school boards to review the resumes, so please make every effort to attend that meeting. Is that what, 6:30, do you remember? Well, check your weekend review, and you don't have to advertise it anyway. Okay, I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for coming out, board members, colleagues. Thank you again, Scott, for your